Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found yourself here, there may be a message for your healing journey, soul's evolution, and or transformation. Today I would like to talk a little bit about souls and death and dying. If you have a loved one who crossed over and maybe they were dying of something long-term, or maybe they had a recent surgery and they passed away in the hospital. Sometimes we have to look at the bigger picture, and it's part of their journey. I know I have seen a lot of those things happen and realize now the higher purpose is we all line up for different experiences and who's around you when you pass and what the soul remembers and or doesn't. Typically, if you have an ailment or illness, yes, the body is suffering, and maybe your person is given medication to help ease the pain until they transition. And sometimes if it's an accident or something, whether it's ejecting from a car or something that's maybe people have died in a house fire and or other things that were traumatic, suicide and or gunshot, those souls kind of leave before the injury hits the body, and or if somebody tried to take their life and unalive them, the soul jumps out and watches, kind of like if you've seen the movie Ghost, and or Reese Witherspoon, there's a few out there, or I think it's called Michael, John Travolta. Those are different things that sort of encompass, and some part of it's true, but the soul usually steps outside if it's a traumatic event and witnesses it with their guides, and their body, passes away, the organs shut down. And I know a few people in the medical field that have lost their own patients, and sometimes it's their journey, right? And sometimes we have to look at the bigger picture. Sometimes we line up for those experiences, and sometimes they were, definitely put upon us and unexpected. So forgiveness is important. Loving and nurturing that soul, guiding it back home is also important if their guides come. But what's left is you grieving and trying not to remember how they passed or events surrounding it. That just know that praying for the soul to transcend so they can go to their next destination and heal. And for what they want you to do is also heal. Transcend your pain and trauma, sadness, grief, sorrow, and fear. Back to your heart center and love. Love is the highest form of healing, and celebrate their life, no matter how they went out. I know that was a hard lesson for me, especially losing my brother in a car accident on the same day my stepbrother got married. Now I think, wow, what a plan. He got to see everybody he loved, even his classmates in college were there, and of course celebrated his life. And it was grandiose for the short amount of time he was here. He knew he was going out early. Maybe he just didn't say so. But when I look back at those times, of course I sort of knew it was going to happen, and I felt tremendous guilt. I was a terrible griever. I didn't know. And going through your transformation and learning and evolving, we know there was a higher plan. Could he have come back and been paralyzed in a wheelchair? Yes. Did he want to? No, because he didn't want to live that way. So now he's helping and doing lots of fun things, enjoying his life and helping others, and helping your children. So it's a beautiful thing, and it's a blessing that if he has to leave this earth, that he can now help. And so I know there's lots of times he's been around my children, and maybe they played the same sports, and so I see him. So it's a beautiful thing. Just remember not to hold people back. They have to transcend, grow, and evolve just like you do. So on the other side, they want you to celebrate your life and live the best you can. And if they can help, they will if you ask. But they're never invasive. Anything that is invasive is a lower level energy, and you don't want that around anyway. So God is a plan, or whoever you believe in. Just remember, in death and dying, yes, there's grief, and maybe there's question around it. But try not to live with regret and fear. Imagine them happy and allowing them to be in peace. And they want you to be in peace. So change is important sometimes. Live in your purpose, grow and evolve, and have the courage to do so. And just remember to love yourself first and be in peace. And if you are in service, make sure you live in peace and you're on the up and up. Those that are not take advantage of others, especially when they're grieving. And that's really a sad thing, and it's hurtful and damaging. Make sure you're delivering messages that are profoundly accurate. And whatever they're needing to hear is always obvious. You're sorry and your compassion for their loss. But grieving takes a while. And wherever they are, they are. Have compassion. And of course, let them be free to choose. Know what's right, the courage to know the difference, and discernment, right? So just remember to take care of you, have balance in your life, and trust that there's a bigger plan to everything. So I hope this helps today. And so it is. Namaste.